Hello Stampers, this is another short tutorial on making this gift card holder. I've already done a tutorial showing how to make the enclosed little envelope that holds the card, and then I'm going to show you real quick just how we did this medallion front. As you can see, it's made with Stampin' Up! Designer Series fabric. It's using the 2 3/8 inch scallop punch, the 1 3/4 inch circle punch, cutting out some Designer Series paper that has these circles on it. But mainly what I want to show you is just how we constructed the medallion. I can show you the measurements for the other pieces and how to put it together. But to make the medallion piece, you're just going to take a needle and thread, put a knot in it, and you're just going to start at one end of your fabric. Your fabric is torn instead of cut. It's torn at 1 1/2 inch strips. And if you'll just go right back and forth like this, about a 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, like that, all the way across, it'll gather the fabric up. That's what we want to do. We want to try to gather it up. So I'm just doing that, a little bit of sewing, just going back and forth. Okay, and through the magic of video, I have finished my basting thread. And that's what it's like. It's just the thread goes all the way across, not in one end, so that I can do like this and pull it up. And all we want to do is just gather it up just enough to go and make a half circle. You can see how large we made that. And you can just leave it gathered like that. When you get it the size that you want, all you have to do is just grab the end of your thread, make a couple of little slip knots right there to keep it from coming ungathered. You're going to take your 1 3/4 inch circle, and you're just going to cover it with sticky strip, or if you buy the adhesive in the sheets from Stampin' Up, you can just use that and punch it after you lay your paper on there. It doesn't matter about the color of this. I'm just using a piece of black because I thought it would show up against this fabric. But all you're going to do is cover this with sticky, and then just lay your fabric on this circle. And you only want to go halfway. You want to make like a little fanned out shape that's about halfway around the circle. And you're going to stick that down. And once you get that stuck down and evenly gathered around that looks nice to you, you'll turn it over. You'll take an additional circle and just cover it with sticky and stick that down on it so that the fabric is sandwiched between. And then you'll have a medallion basically with the fabric sandwiched in between it. Then you can take your scallop circle and just mount that to the black piece of, or your scrap cardstock that's holding the sandwich, and it can just be mounted on the top because you really won't see that. You can see here how it stands away from the card. So that's the easy part. It's just a little bit of sewing. The little piece on the front that's done with the new Build-A-Brads that are kind of fancy. They're elegant Build-A-Brads. This is done with the new Around Array stamp set, and the matching punch. It's just punched out. That's stuck on with a glue dot. Our pieces for our card are, of course, a standard card, which is 4 1/2 by 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 landscape. The piece that goes on top of that is Raspberry Ripple. It's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. The vanilla piece has been embossed with the technique, which I've demonstrated before, of taking the stamp pad and rubbing the inside of the embossing folder. We did that with Pool Party, which is what this color fabric is. This is from the Comfort Cafe Designer Series fabric. And it is embossed, and then it is, after that I trimmed it to 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. We always trim our embossed pieces after they're embossed because they shrink a little bit once they're embossed. And if you cut it and then run it through the embosser, you say, oh goodness, why are my margins so big? Well, you need to cut it after you've embossed it. That's 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. And all that is layered onto the card front. And before you actually put it on the front, these two pieces, once they're adhered together, you're going to take your fabric, you're just going to tie a knot, a loose kind of knot. You don't want it to be real tight, because if it's real tight it makes it thicker. You want it to be able to kind of flatten out a little bit. And just going to tie a knot. This piece of fabric along with the piece that we did for that, is just one length of the fat quarter that you get from Stampin' Up. And that just wraps around the card, and then that would be adhered to the front. And then you'll take your medallion piece, and that is just put on with something heavy like sticky strip or score pal tape, and you just glue it directly to the ribbon. And you really need something like sticky strip, or you can use a hot glue gun. It doesn't need to be attached under here or here. It can just be loose and just attached to the crossbar. And we added a little butterfly that's done from the Papillon Potpourri and the new butterfly punch from Stampin' Up. And that's it. Just refer to the bottom of this listing under descriptions, and you will see the tutorial for how to make the special envelope that holds this card and the envelope inside the card for your gift card holder. Enjoy!